Sakura and Ibuki are more than just fighters in the Street Fighter universe. They're teenagers trying to figure it all out, balancing friendship, school, and self-discovery in a world where fists speak louder than words. Sakura Kasugana starts as a fangirl chasing Ryu's shadow. Her journey is filled with optimism, but it slowly transforms into something deeper, a search for identity. Ibuki, on the other hand, is a prodigy ninja who just wants to live a normal life, but her fate seems bound to duty and tradition. Despite their differences, their arcs reflect a coming-of-age theme that resonates with anyone who ever struggled to find their place. And by the end of this video, we'll see how they've grown, and whether they ever truly find balance. Sakura Kasugana bursts onto the scene in Street Fighter Alpha 2, a cheerful high schooler full of energy and awe for the world of fighting. But she's not just another scrappy teen. She's specifically drawn to Ryu, the stoic wanderer who defeated Sagat and inspired her to take up martial arts. Her early appearances show her mimicking Ryu's moves with an almost reckless enthusiasm. She doesn't have a master, no formal training, just instinct, spirit, and a deep admiration for her idol. And that's what makes her relatable. She fights not out of vengeance or duty, but because she wants to understand the meaning of strength. In Street Fighter Alpha 3, Sakura takes her journey further. She actively seeks out Ryu, hoping not only to meet him, but to prove herself. This isn't just hero worship, it's a teenager's search for purpose. She believes that if she can fight Ryu, she'll learn something about herself. And even when she finally meets him, it's clear she's still just beginning to understand what fighting truly means. Despite her light-hearted exterior, there's a depth to Sakura's character. Her joy in combat masks the fact that she's looking for direction, searching for something stable in a world that's constantly moving. Sakura's beginning is all about chasing shadows, but in time she'll have to decide whether that path is truly her own. Ibuki made her debut in Street Fighter 3 New Generation, and right away she stood out. Not just because she's a teenage girl in a ninja outfit, but because of her attitude. Unlike Ryu, who seeks battle, or Sakura, who idolizes it, Ibuki just wants to be a normal girl. She's a ninja in training, raised in a secretive village where martial arts are everything. But Ibuki isn't exactly thrilled about her destiny. She complains about early morning training, harsh instructors, and how fighting gets in the way of what she really wants. Boys, school, and hanging out with friends. In many ways, Ibuki represents the push and pull of adolescence. The duty you're born into versus the life you dream about. Despite her complaints, Ibuki is incredibly skilled. She doesn't slack off. When it comes time to fight, she shows precision, speed, and strategy. In Third Strike, her story revolves around preparing for a final ninja exam, a fight against the powerful and legendary fighter Oro. But even after she has proven herself worthy of being a ninja, she still desires to lead a normal life at university, though that seems to be forever out of Ibuki's reach. Her story is a balancing act. She's caught between two worlds, the old traditions of her ninja clan and the modern teenage life she secretly craves. But there's a deeper layer here. Her reluctance doesn't come from fear, it comes from longing for freedom and for choice. By the time we reach Street Fighter 4, Sakura has matured, but only just. She's still the same upbeat, energetic fighter we meet in Alpha, but her reasons for fighting are starting to change. She still looks up to Ryu, but her interactions have shifted. Ryu remains distant, walking his endless path of self-improvement, while Sakura begins to wonder if that lifestyle is really for her. Her idealism is starting to wear thin. She doesn't idolize blindly anymore. Instead, she asks questions about her future, about her choices, and about whether fighting has a lasting place in her life. She fights because it's fun, but is that enough? Where Ryu isolates himself to grow stronger, Sakura craves connection. She values friendship, mentorship, and joy. That's part of what makes her story so unique. She's not battling some inner demon or ancient enemy, she's navigating the quiet confusion of growing up. And that's what Street Fighter 4 captures so well, the moment where the dream begins to feel distant and real life starts asking for answers. In Street Fighter IV, Ibuki's story has a much more comedic, and yet strangely relatable tone. Set before the events of Street Fighter III, she's training to be a ninja, but she still wants what any other teenager does: to go to school, hang out with friends, maybe even go on a date. The tension between her duty and her desires is stronger than ever. In perhaps stereotypical teenage behavior, she sneaks away from her clan's summer camp and enters Sin's fighting tournament to meet cool and handsome guys. Ibuki often complains about her missions, sneaking out between classes and ninja assignments, and teasing other fighters like Guy, who takes his role far more seriously. Her flirty, sarcastic remarks hide the fact that she's under constant pressure. Whether she's clashing with superpowered enemies or stressing over school exams, she rarely gets a break. Yet beneath the jokes and playful tone, we start to see growth. Ibuki may still resist the rigid path set before her, but she's also clearly becoming more capable and more confident. She doesn't run from battle, she handles it, often better than expected. By the time we reach Street Fighter V, Ibuki's juggling act has intensified. She's doing schoolwork one minute and taking down rogue fighters the next. Her story mode reveals more maturity. She's still sarcastic and lighthearted, but she's far more composed in combat. Her skills have grown, and so has her understanding of the life she leads. But even now, she hasn't let go of that longing for normalcy. Her dreams of a peaceful life with a cute boyfriend never completely fade. They just coexist with the reality she's come to accept. Ibuki is still caught between two worlds, but now she's learning how to walk the line. Sakura in Street Fighter V is no longer the high school girl chasing after Ryu. She's an adult now, working at an arcade, still living at home with her parents, and confronting the question that so many of us eventually face: what's next? Her story takes a more introspective turn. She still enjoys fighting, but it's no longer just about proving herself or chasing idols. She starts wondering whether this life has an endpoint. What happens when the fights are over? Is there something more? Something quieter? Maybe even something normal waiting for her? In her conversations, particularly with Karin and Ryu, Sakura expresses these doubts more openly. She talks about settling down, about maybe wanting a family someday. It's a vulnerable, human moment for a character who was once defined by her boundless energy and optimism. When she meets Ryu again, it's not with the same starry-eyed awe. There's a maturity there. Respect, yes, but also clarity. She no longer needs to walk his path. She's finally starting to understand her own. Sakura's arc in Street Fighter V is one of transition. It's not about stopping, it's about evolving. She's at a crossroads where fighting is no longer the only thing that defines her. It's become a part of her past, her present, and maybe not her future. Ibuki and Sakura may come from different worlds, one a hidden village of ninjas, the other a quiet Japanese suburb, but these stories echo each other in striking ways. Both are young women caught between two lives, one of responsibility and one of personal desire. Sakura's journey is about identity. From idolizing Ryu to standing on her own, she represents the search for purpose. At first, fighting is everything, an obsession, a passion, a dream. But over time, she begins to ask the deeper questions. Is this truly who I am? Or is it just something I've clung to? Ibuki's path, by contrast, is about balance. She never asked to be a fighter, she was born into the ninja life. Her desire is to escape it, or at least to blend it with something resembling normalcy. Through her playful attitude and schoolgirl worries, we see a character who's trying to hold on to her individuality without rejecting her legacy. Both characters evolve. They mature not by abandoning their past, but by learning how to carry it differently. They each move forward from naive enthusiasm to thoughtful reflection. Sakura learns that fighting doesn't have to define her future. Ibuki learns that she can be a ninja and still dream of a life beyond the shadows. Most importantly, they never lose who they are. Even as they grow, they remain spirited, hopeful, and full of personality. In a franchise filled with warriors consumed by power or revenge, Sakura and Ibuki remind us that fighting can also be about joy, curiosity, and the complicated journey of growing up. Ibuki and Sakura may not be the strongest warriors in the Street Fighter universe, but their stories are some of the most human. They remind us that the path to adulthood isn't always a straight line. It's full of contradictions, between who we are and who we're expected to be, between what we dream and what reality demands. For Sakura, it's the bittersweet moment of realizing that childhood dreams evolve. But sometimes the hero you once idolized is just a person, and that the future you want may not be the one you once imagined. She grows not by chasing Ryu, but by stepping out of his shadow. For Ibuki, it's the tension between duty and desire. The life of a ninja is set in stone, but she continues to write her own chapters within that structure. She finds her strength not in escaping her role, but in redefining it on her terms. Their stories resonate because they reflect something real. Not everyone can relate to unleashing a Hadouken, but we've all faced the pressure of expectations, the pull of dreams, and the uncertainty of growing up. And as the Street Fighter series continues, fans wonder, what's next? Will Sakura finally step away from the fight, or find a new reason to keep going? Will Ibuki finally embrace her ninja path, or will she break free from it entirely? Whatever the future holds, one thing's clear: Ibuki and Sakura are more than just fighters. They're symbols of resilience, of youth in transition, and of what it means to chase something bigger than yourself. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this reflection on these characters, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss what's next. Got a favorite Ibuki or Sakura moment? Drop it in the comments below. And remember, be excellent to yourselves and one another, and I'll see you soon.